Your Excellency, thank you ever so much for having us here at the embassy. I believe last time we saw each other was at the Kazakh UK Mining Forum, which was held in London earlier this year. But before we get into the critical mineral opportunities within Kazakhstan, I was wondering if you might be able to tell me more about the country and the people.
Well, I think the most interesting fact is that Kazakhstan is the ninth largest country in the world. It's 2.7 million square kilometers, which means that we have beautiful nature, but we have also very rich subsoil reserves. The population is only 19 million people. We're a country with a very rich history that goes beyond Soviet Union, because many people still call Kazakhstan a former Soviet republic, but our nation is much, much older than that. We are a very dynamically developing country. We are a leader of economic and political reforms in Central Asia. We are very successful in attracting foreign investments. And as we now mark the 32nd year of our independence, our country enjoys very strong partnership relations with countries of European Union, UK, US, Middle East, and of course our immediate neighbors, Russian Federation and China, and of course our neighbors in Central Asia are the partners that has been around, and we're building this new chapter of our regional collaboration as well.
I must say that everyone I speak to who's been to Kazakhstan always tells me about the friendly people and also always the food. No conversation goes past without a cafe or a restaurant they've been to in one of the countries. So I know it's a place that a lot of people enjoy working.
Yeah, I think Kazakhstan, again, is a very dynamically developing country, and many people don't know that the big cities in Kazakhstan are very similar when it comes to work and life balance, like in the West. In our big cities, you can have restaurants of different cuisines, you have entertainment, modern lifestyle, but also Kazakh national food is something that sticks in mind of the people because it stems back to the nomadic culture where, sitting at the table at the end of the day was the major event. That's where you invite your guests, that's where you spend quality time, not just entertaining and feeding them, but also interacting, sharing information. And because of the nomadic lifestyle, every guest who would end up at your home is God-given. So you treat anyone with respect, with tolerance. And also, I think historically, because Kazakhstan was a part of the ancient Silk Road, we met and interacted with people of different backgrounds, religions, and cultures. And we learned to respect, to tolerate, to live with them in coexistence. And today Kazakhstan is a great reflection of that, because we officially have over 100 different communities and diasporas of different size, of course, but we're a very, very multi-ethnic community with different religions coexisting in this modern society. So I think for everyone who had these stereotypes, and when they come to Kazakhstan and discover that this is a very modern multi-ethnic community, something that they are pleasantly surprised with.
The last time we met was at the Kazakh UK Mining Forum, and we were talking about a couple of things. So I wanted to start with the history of mining within Kazakhstan. It's got a rich history of a long time of mining in the country.
Well, if we go really back into history, the territory of modern Kazakhstan is a territory where archaeologists excavated mind-blowing jewelry made of gold and bronze by the tribes that used to live in these steppes. So it means they had technology to smelt, to make ore, to make metals. Then, of course, there were centuries of nomadic life. And if we talk about modern times, I would say that mining started about 120 years ago in Kazakhstan. And not surprisingly, I think it was British businessmen who were the first to come to Kazakhstan and start the first industrial mining of copper. There was this copper mine called Spasskaya, which was actually listed at London Stock Exchange in 1907, and then the revolution took place and they had to withdraw. But the railroad that these British entrepreneurs built and the mining equipment is still on the photo pictures of that mine. So I think that was the first stage. But of course, in Soviet times, it was as it used to be in Soviet times, large scale, very programmed. So there was a geological research, excavations, and we all realized that territory of Kazakhstan, which used to be just land of nomads, underground possesses huge reserves of copper, zinc, lead, iron ore. I mean, enterprises that were the flagships of Soviet industry were located in Kazakhstan. And we continue that heritage today with our independence, with inviting foreign investors to continue the production, the excavation. And at this stage, we also would like to see more geological research because, again, it's the ninth largest country in the world. I think maybe 30% of the territory has been properly searched for the reserves, so there is great opportunities for new big discoveries in Kazakhstan.
We definitely need to speak to the British Geological Survey then and get them to come over to Kazakhstan. So obviously Kazakhstan is well known for its hydrocarbons, its oil and gas, but it's got a rich treasure trove of critical minerals as well. Can you give us a little bit of a flavour of the critical minerals that do exist within Kazakhstan that is known about in that 30%?
Well, I think the big name would be uranium. I think it's still a critical substance. Kazakhstan is an official #1 producer of uranium, but when it comes to metals, we are very big in titanium sponge, tungsten, wolfram, lithium, silicon. Yep. I think so. I mean, there is a list of these rare earth metals and strategic materials that we have, and it fits very well the demand list of United Kingdom, for example. We know that out of 18 critical minerals that UK needs for its industry, 8 are in open production in Kazakhstan, and 7 are proven to have reserves in Kazakhstan, so which makes 15 out of 18 critical materials that UK industry needs are in Kazakhstan, just need to be produced, refined, and used.
Well, so 15 out of the 18 for the UK, which is a great situation to be in. Can you tell me a little bit more about Kazakhstan's critical mineral strategy? How is it going to build on that critical mineral base that it has?
Well, the focus of the government is to develop mining in general. So I wouldn't say that critical minerals is something that we are prioritizing. We want to develop mining as an industry. And we all know that critical minerals, rare earth minerals, they come along as the production of bigger substances like copper, iron ore. So therefore, developing the mining sector is of paramount importance. Recently, our president, at his State of the Nation address on the 1st of September, specifically mentioned mining industry as area where we would like to see more foreign investors who would come and work with Kazakh partners in fair partnership. When we say fair partnership, we mean that it should be a long-lasting collaboration. We would like foreign investors to come, invest, and bring with them their technologies, their know-how, training for local staff. And we would very much prefer for them to also open some processing and refining facilities in Kazakhstan along with excavation to add value to the raw materials that they excavate in Kazakhstan, sell it to the global markets, but also in our new strategy, we want mining to be sustainable. We want mining to respect the local communities, the environment, the soil. So this is an experience that I think is not well spread in our part of the world, but I think that UK companies have a great heritage of doing this sustainable, respectful treatment of subsoil resources. So this is also a part of our strategy. So to put it very simple, we want a very fair, mutually beneficial partnership.
Wonderful. And with that, I know that Kazakhstan has signed a number of MOUs and agreements with multiple nations around the world. Can you give us a little bit of a background on what Kazakhstan's international political strategy is around building those relationships with other nations?
Well, recent MOUs that have been signed in mining have been signed with European Union and United Kingdom when Foreign Secretary Cleverly was in Kazakhstan in March. We have already established partnerships with United States in that area. So, I mean, we are diversifying the presence of foreign investors in Kazakhstan. Again, it's very fair playground, let's put it this way, but we don't want to see the presence or dominance of any particular country with any particular industries, because we think everyone has an opportunity in Kazakhstan. It's not always about the best price. It's all about this package that we spoke about, its responsibility, its sustainability, transfer of technologies, commitment for deeper recycling and production in Kazakhstan. So whoever comes with that will win, but we are looking, in particular here in London as an embassy, to British partnership, because this is a country with heritage, with history in mining. Some countries don't have it, but UK was the leading country when it comes to industrial mining, and there are big companies like Rio Tinto who can have their future in Kazakhstan as a partnership.
I know most recently the Material Security Partnership has been looking to build more of these relationships with producer nations. So have you had any conversations with the MSP? Have you been involved in those conversations?
Well, indeed, it was just yesterday that we were invited for the first time at the meeting of MSP Group. This was the first meeting when they were co-chairing it, both by UK and US, but also it was the first meeting where they invited non-members. So Kazakhstan was there along with South Africa, Brazil, Mongolia, Zimbabwe. And I think it's quite timely that they talk not just among themselves, but they also invite to speak the producing countries. And it was good vibe there when they opened up and asked us about what we expect of them in this potential partnership. And the messages were similar that I spoke about. It's about fair collaboration. It's about transfer of technologies. And it wasn't just me speaking, but all other members of the non-MSP community were making sure that this is paramount now. So I think it has a good future, because yesterday when we left the room, we agreed that there will be follow-ups. We didn't just exchange our views. We're really brainstorming how we can work together as a producing, consuming countries for the better, safer, stable, predictable supply chain of strategic materials from producing countries to the consuming countries that will produce eventually an equipment and hardware that will be used globally. So I'm looking forward to the next step of this engagement.
Yep, that sounds exciting. Your Excellency, I think we're almost out of time, but I'm going to leave you an opportunity now for your final thoughts or any final messages you'd like to get out to the mining community about the opportunities within Kazakhstan.
Well, the message is very straightforward. It's about time. Now in 2023, the competition for strategic material, rare earth metals is fierce, and Kazakhstan is open for partnership. We have very strong political will on the level of our government, heads of state. Our head of state made it very clear that this is important for us as well. So, I mean, we are there, but we want investors to come considering long-term involvement, commitment, engagement for the fruitful, beneficial collaboration. And when it comes to reserves, I think there should be no worries that Kazakhstan is very, very rich in natural resources. As I said, we are leading in many world rankings when it comes to the volume of our reserves, but we're talking about 30% of our territory. So the future of mining in Kazakhstan is great, and I invite everyone to be the first, because the first who come, I think they will get the best conditions and best opportunities for that partnership.
Wonderful. Your Excellency, thank you ever so much for today. I look forward to conversations in the future.
Thank you very much for this.
Thank you.
Thank you.